Hello everyone, once again, welcome back. I'm Generic, and this is episode 8 of my Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster playthrough. We had just finished getting the warp cube from the waterfall, um, so let's head down, go to Onrak probably real quick. Let's see, should be able to get some spells, and that's about all we can do right now. We have to go a few more places before we can gain access to the Sunken Temple. So Saber is a fantastic spell. It raises both attack and accuracy. However, you can only cast it on yourself. Uh, so with that in mind, it is a little less useful. Healga, excellent. I probably won't get Null Death just because everyone's got Protect Rings. But Healga, yes. You never know when you need some major healing to everyone. Nope, that was the wrong way. All right, head over. Ryan, you don't have to. Honestly, you don't have to talk to the person here. I wanted to save the mermaids living on the seafloor, so I made this submarine out of a barrel. But when I went underwater, I started running out of air. I couldn't breathe. It's totally useless. Even worse, it's dangerous. You'd better keep away. Talk to this guy too, just for fun. 200 years ago, the shrine of Onrak flourished. It brimmed with the power of water. I ask but one thing of you. Please restore the power to its former grace. Alright, so that's what we need. We need a way to breathe underwater. However, we can't do that here. Instead, we have to use the ferry that we had gotten from the caravan, that bottled ferry, and we have to take it over to Gaia. If you remember, that was that town in the middle of the mountains where I just bought stuff and immediately left. I may take a few minutes, just see what enemies I can fight here. I know there are several that I have kind of ignored in the bestiary. So if I can get them, that'd be great. I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to keep this more or less moving. I feel that there's probably a couple enemies that's going to take a decent amount of time. In the Sky Fortress, where we're going to be eventually heading to after a little bit, and we're kind of working towards all the requirements to go there now. There is a enemy, the War Mech, that has a very low chance of spawning. So there's probably going to be some grinding there. And we'll figure out how we're going to do that, because watching me play for 35, 40 minutes just fighting things over and over probably is not a very exciting episode. I'll probably either cut it out and do all of it off the screen, or at least fast forward it so that way you can watch my progress. But we still have a little bit of time before that. I don't know. I don't really feel like I'm getting too much here, so. Oh, excellent, the Ramarods. As I say that, of course I get something I needed. Save that so I don't have to find it again. Head up to our airship. I think there's one more up at the top of this continent. There's a chance for one of the other enemies. Maybe getting a couple fights here. But once again, I don't want to spend too long doing this because it's kind of boring to watch. Unless you're like me. Sometimes I would watch this without a problem. But I'm pretty excited to move along with the story, so I just want to give it a shot and then we'll go. I don't seem to be having very good luck doing this, so I guess I should leave. See if it works again. And that's a big negative. Guess it was just coincidence. No special powers on my part. Yeah. Manticore. I forget if we've already got that or not. Alright. I think we'll call it there. Uh, we'll see what we encounter throughout the playthrough, and then we'll do any last minute cleanups before we beat the game. Alright. So, we need to head towards Gaia. And where I did not go last time. Oh, look at that. For some reason, I automatically let the bottled fairy go. Oh yeah, I can buy spells. Last time we couldn't. Kiraga, Must, Diaja, and I'm not gonna get what was it, Null Death. So might as well get Diaja. I'm not in need of any money, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't typically use the instant death spells. Instant death is it also achieved by damage. So here's the other magic shop. This is for 3 of the 4 uh, 8th level spells. Holy, absolutely. Dispel, I'll probably get it. I don't really think that I've used it, but it could be useful against bosses. I am saving space for uh, full life, I think it is. No, not gonna do it. I don't really see any real need. Honestly, I probably won't use most of these spells anyway. I caught the fairy, so I figure she's mine to do with as I please. What's the big deal? So he's the guy that caused us to have to pay 40,000 gil for the bottled fairy. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that. Oh, nope. Almost left. Alright, so up here, talk to this fairy. You're the ones who rescued me from the bottle. I'm sorry about running away, but I was just so scared. I'll get you some oxyale from the bottom of the spring to make up for it, okay? So she's going to go down and get us oxyale, which will allow us to breathe underwater, which then allows us to go back to Onrak and go into the Sunken Shrine. You obtain oxyale. Sorry, I hit the button too fast. It basically lets me breathe underwater. Alright, so that's the huge desert that eventually we'll go to. Specifically this tower. I think it's Mirage Tower. Tower of Mirage. But first, we need a way to open the pathway to it. And that can be gotten by going to on-rack. So land, head up to on-rack. Now that we've gotten the oxyale, oh, I was surprised. I guess I was expecting that I had accidentally left encounters off, but apparently not. I just lucked out and didn't get any random encounters. Alright, you have oxyale. You are the ones we've been waiting for. Please save the mermaids. And she disappears into the water. Perhaps she was a mermaid. Yes, we do want to get in a barrel. I feel like the cutscene in other versions is better. Alright, so we're starting off on the 3rd floor of this Sunken Shrine. Down over there is the way to the boss, and up is the way that we're going to go. Specifically, we need to grab an item up there. Also, there's some good armor and equipment. This is a great place to continue heavy use of your gauntlets, just because everything is aquatic, so it all tends to be weak against lightning, which gauntlets deliver. Yeah. So good. Alright, Sunken Shrine, 4th floor. Probably check out the map real quick. Alright, so there's door, another door, 2 more, 3 more doors. Figure out which one is. Well, I guess we'll head into that one, and 1 more up there. Alright, so go in, look at the map. Chest. Okay. So it looks like everywhere has a chest except for the room that I went in. Cool. Jeez. Water elementals hit pretty hard. At least for my squishy mages. Or wizards, sorry. They're wizards now. Alright, so let's go over to that first door, or first room. Excellent preemptive strikes. Ooh. Hugh, you're doing so much damage. Wow, look at that. Good hit points from Greston. It's a rarity. Actually, seems like Hugh is kind of catching up to Celia too. Yep, kill, sweet. Alright, nothing. I think we'll probably hit up top, get that chest, since the other chests are down closer to the stairs up. So as you can see, between the gauntlets and the healing staff, I mean, that's pretty much, as long as I use them each turn, that's enough to keep me pretty well healed. Diamond armor, you may notice it guards against lightning, so that is quite useful. All right. Let's make our way down to the bottom rooms. Whoops. Let's see. I think I need to go around. Sorry, trying to get my bearings. Wow, look at that. So Gruston's almost up to 400 hit points. Corrin's almost maxed. And Hugh and Zelia, they'll definitely be at max hit points before the end of the game. And yes, if you haven't gotten it by now, my hit points are probably one of my biggest concerns in this game. I very much enjoy getting max hit points. I'm pretty sure Greston is not going to do it. Light Axe, so that I think casts Dia when used as an item. Yep, Diara when used. It's not as good of a weapon, but it can be nice. DR is what, level 5 white magic, so I no longer need to cast it. Alright, come up to this room, get this lone chest, Mage's Staff. So that is the fire counterpart to the gauntlets. So Mage's Staff casts fire when used. Being that we're underwater, I'm definitely going to stick with the gauntlets though. Sadly, his intelligence is not quite high enough to kill things in one hit, or at least not everything. Alright. So don't go down or don't go up the stairs yet. We still have one more chest in the room. And it's skill. Not worth really getting it, aside from completion. Woo! Level 48. 10 hit points. Though it is good that his stats are going up. Wow. It's like 3 or 4 levels in a row that Greston has gotten more hit points. Okay, so for this, we're actually heading to that top right room, but we need to walk through it. It's weird. We end up walking through a passageway to the left and coming back through the right. So I guess it'd kind of be a circle. It just doesn't seem like a circle. Mermaids. All right, diamond armlet. That'll greatly improve someone's defense. I don't remember if it's. I thought it was supposed to reduce thunder damage, but it doesn't say that it does. So I'm guessing it does not. It's all right though, because by the end of the game we should have, I think, 3 ribbons, and that a ribbon also is strong against elemental damage. So ultimately, all my squishy people will be strong against elemental damage and status effects. They are the crystals. Now please get out of the way. So lots and lots of gil, as you can see. So those 3 chests are the ones that we're actually after. Yep, so she tells you that the Kraken can be found on the lowest level. An antidote. That's super helpful. So here she gives you a hint about how to gain access to the Tower of Mirage, or Mirage Tower. Basically, you need a chime, which you get in the town of Lufenia. I think they changed it. In the original version, I'm pretty sure it was Leaf. Alright. But if we had gone there already, you would see that we don't know how to speak Lufenian. We don't know how to speak their language. And there's only one person who can teach us that. But he doesn't know the exact method to translate it. He needs a Rosetta Stone, which is basically a way to, it's like a key to translation. Get some good armor, and you obtain the Rosetta Stone. I think in the original version, there's just like a tablet. Alright, so we're done here. Now we can use the Rosetta Stone, or not use it, but we'll take that back to Melmond, where there's a scholar of language, and he will help us by teaching us Lufenian, whatever it is. Also in Melmond, pretty sure I can, hopefully I'll remember, but I'm pretty sure I can get at least warp, which lets me back out of dungeons 1 level at a time. So hopefully I will remember to do that. Actually, while we're here, we might as well get the chests on this floor. That way I don't forget and rush past it and then have to come back later. Cool. More money. Alright. The little cutscene again. Back to our airship. And then let's head to Melmond. That's the town where where Lich was. So up here is the scholar. Just a moment. Let me see that tablet. This is the Rosetta Stone. This makes it possible to decipher Lufenian. Well, there we go. They did indeed change it. Yes, of course. That's what this was. It all makes sense. Here, allow me to express my gratitude by teaching you Lufenian. We are the best scholars of language ever. Able to learn an entire language in, 10, 15 seconds? Oh, almost forgot it. All right. Teleport. Yes, I would like that. Yeah. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll get slower too. It does have its uses, especially when things hit a lot, like with a lot of attacks. All right. Now we can go to Lufenia, though. While we're at it, let's go to what is Crescent Lake, and also see what spells there are there. I'm pretty sure the White Mage equivalent exit we can now, or sorry, not White Mage, because White Mage couldn't use it. The White Wizard version of teleport or exit is available to us, so that will just let us immediately leave the dungeon. And I did say I'd get one of these. I think I'm going to go Protera. I mean, ultimately, yes, it's nice to raise your evasion so you get hit less, but when it doesn't work, obviously you still take more damage, so I'm just going to assume that I get hit more and get the protection to all. Alright, so make your way, just kind of follow this continent down, and eventually you will run into Lufenia. Sadly, we had to park the airship really far away. We are the Lufenians, the descendants of the race that once lived among the clouds, the Sky People. You can use a vessel, or you use a vessel you call an airship. It was built by one of our ancestors, a man by the name of Sid. So Sid did not initially exist in this game. He was added since then. Come over here, talk to this person down here. Before you leave, legendary warriors, take this chime with you. It will grant you passage into the Mirage Tower. You obtain the chime. So now we can go into the Mirage Tower, home of several weapons that are quite good, as well as the way to the Sky Fortress. So this is the hidden level 8 magic shop. So this is where you get flare and full life. So that's why you only saw 3 magics at the other level 8 shop in Gaia. It's because this one has the last one. So there we go. Now we've got probably the last spells that I will get. Could go around and get some other ones just to fill out everything, but like I said earlier, once I start getting really the gauntlets, I kind of stop using magic. I just use items all the time, and between the gauntlets and the healing staff, or if I have to use the something because it's weak against fire, then the mage's staff But between that, I really don't need to use magic very often. The only exceptions to that are trying to use haste, because haste doubles your hits, so that is quite useful, especially when you use it on your master, because I think at max level he has like, it's either 16 or 32 hits, and it'll make him do 32 or 64 hits and cause pretty extreme damage, even against bosses, because bosses are also weak to fist. Anyway, let's get a couple of fights under our belt in the desert just to see what enemies we encounter. I think we've already encountered those already. I think that was on the way back from Lufenia. So specifically in the desert, there is one enemy, the Tyrannosaur, that has a lower chance of being encountered. So I'm not going to hunt for it now, but chances are good that I will have to hunt for it. All right. So this is the Mirage Tower. You could either go all the way around like that, or you can just go through these doors and go up. But we're going to get all the chests in the middle first, because that's what we do. We get treasure. You'll notice things give pretty good experience here. So if you are trying to level up, most of the time I would level up in the desert, at least on the original version. Here, since I'm trying to get all the monsters in the bestiary, I don't anticipate that I will have to. I think chances are good between the 4 times multiplier and just getting monsters encountered, I probably won't have to. Just because specifically Warmech, and I think there's one more in the final dungeon also that has a pretty low encounter rate. Both here and the final dungeon have pretty good experience amounts, so I don't anticipate that I'm going to spend too long leveling up everyone to level 99 with just that goal in mind. Healing Helm. So the Healing Helm acts just like the Healing Staff. Obviously can't use it, but Healing Helm protects pretty well, but so cast heal when used as an item. Gil, Vorpal Sword. So the Vorpal Sword can cause instant death, kind of like the Mind Flayers did when you hit them. It is a lower attack, but situationally useful. As of right now, though, based on my levels, I don't really think I need to cause instant death via the Vorpal Sword, because his attack does just fine. Not as fine as Hughes, though. Sweet, strength up. Intellect up. I mean, ultimately, that's a pretty good level. It would have been nice if he also got lots of the larger amount of hit points, but having all his stats go up is pretty good. Corrin's probably like 4 to 5 levels away from maxing out his hit points. 999 is the max that you can get. And by the time you're that level, your hit points are not going to be an issue. You will take not a lot of damage. All right. Aegis Shield, so guards against stone and poison. Those are... Poison's just annoying, obviously. I've said that several times throughout this playthrough. Stone is not a... it's not an effect that you encounter a lot, but it is pretty obnoxious when it does, or when it does happen to you. So I will likely keep the Aegis Shield on for the rest of the game. I don't think there's any better shields. I may be wrong, but I don't think there are any more shields. I think that's probably the best one you get. Alright, so we're trying to go in the middle and get a bunch of chests in there before we go up a level. So this one's not quite as nice as floor 1. You do actually have to go up and around, so you'll be right next to the stairs before you go down into that room. Slightly obnoxious, but also, if I was so concerned, I could just turn off encounters. I'm going to see how much damage Corrin does. It's probably not going to be anywhere close to what the Black Wizard does, just because the Knight's intelligence is so much lower. Realistically, the White Mage... nope, that's not worth it. Realistically, if I did want to give the Mage's Staff to anyone, or later Thor's Hammer, which also is Thundara, sadly, I'd probably give it to Celia, because her intelligence, while not as high as the Black Wizard's, is still pretty good. Let's see, 36 versus 50, so yeah. She's not going to be one-shotting things, but between the two of them, they can cause significant damage if I need it. Though, realistically, this is pretty much my auto battle setup for the rest of the game. I think eventually, probably at max level, her use of the heal staff will recover somewhere between like 80 to 100 hit points for everyone, which is quite significant. It's about double what she does now. Alright, so let's go in the room, get some chests. Lots of gil. Sadly, gil's, I mean, honestly, I don't really know that there's anything else I need to buy. So at this point, gil is kind of worthless. Oh, there's Thor's hammer. So like I said, Thor's hammer does just like the gauntlet. Doesn't do any better. Dragon mail guards against fire and ice. Perfect. So essentially, if I didn't have the Aegis shield on, I could guard against all three of the damage dealing elements, because the diamond shield does protect against thunder, but I think he's fine. He's got lots of hit points, and I'd rather have the Aegis shield on, because poison bothers me. Alright, that should be everything there. Now we can head up to the stairs. It's weird that there's no item in this version that casts Blizzara on everyone. I think in the Dawn of Souls version of Final Fantasy 1, it does have, like, it has a bonus dungeon and also includes additional items. I don't remember exactly what the items are, but I know that there is a, I think, shirt that casts Blizzara, and there's a staff that casts Flare. So that's a little overpowered. So we got our blue dragon. Died pretty quick. Sweet, sweet levels. Alright, so now that we're here, use Warp Cube to travel beyond the sky. It will take you to the Flying Fortress. So step on here, we will teleport, and so we'll stop it here. We're in the Flying Fortress, and this is a good place to stop, just because going on, we're going to be probably fighting, trying to get Warmech, and taking on the Fiend of the Wind. So I think that will probably be a full episode. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Have a good day.